My work ends up looking almost as though it's been dug up. I use patinas to age it, and I don't really have many shiny polished surfaces, so it does have a fairly old quality to it. And I get a lot of people who are interested in ancient artefacts and perhaps spend a lot of time in museums. I've been told a few times that by people that they think I was an armourer in a past life, which is an interesting idea. Most people are quite surprised to see a hairdryer in the workshop. I actually use it more here than on my hair at home. So I'm actually now going to dry some stop-out varnish that I've painted on a piece. It just speeds up the process. I work a lot with acid etching. It's a great technique. There's a little bit of it is slightly out of your control in that you can't always say for sure how the etch is going to react with the metal. You paint on a resist, which gives you a huge array of finishes that you can have. I can either etch lines standing out or etch lines in, both of which I use quite a lot. You can paint designs on with a freehand with a paintbrush. And once a piece of work is finished, these etched lines really stand out in the piece. You can actually pick them out with patinating fluid as well. You can really do quite a lot with them. I also like to age my pieces, so once I've patinated them, I'll quite often heat colour them afterwards. That way you get the ancient artefact look. While that larger piece is etching, I make use of my time by working on smaller work. So I'm now going to start on a little silver pendant. It's very much the same process. I've pierced out a piece of metal. I'm now going to hammer into a different hollow in my tree stump to get the shape, and then planish it smooth afterwards. At this stage, all I'm really looking for is the overall shape of the piece, so I don't have to be too precise yet. Okay, now I'll just anneal that again. But again, I'm still looking for that cherry red colour that tells me when the metal has got to the correct temperature. Okay, that's done, so I'll just drop it in the pickle now. This particular pendant I'm making has been inspired by some breakwaters near where I live, and there's lots of pieces of old wood with old stones embedded in them, and I'm actually just going to hammer out a little tiny nugget of gold, which I'm then going to set into the silver that I've just planished and made a little indent into. So I'll just hammer this on the anvil now. It's got a little bit flatter now, so I can actually hammer a bit faster. One of my favourite places is actually quite near here. It's Shoreham. There's a row of old wooden breakwaters that have stones and little pebbles encrusted in them. They just look like they've been there forever, and they're almost like jewels set into a piece of metal, or in my mind that's how I see them. And the row of posts that they're all in runs parallel with the sea, which is quite unusual. Normally breakwaters run the other way, and it just makes a beautiful line with the sea sort of a few feet away from it to me. The reason I like to actually hammer it from a little round piece into a flat piece is you get interesting planes on the surface of the metal, whereas if I just cut the pieces out from a flat sheet, somehow it's not very interesting. I'll just file the corners off now. I don't really do accurate drawings of what I see. I prefer to record it with a camera. I go home, I'll do what I would refer to as three-dimensional visual research. So I don't really work with drawings. It's not really my strong point. I prefer to play with pieces of wire, and perhaps I might trap those pieces of wire under some tissue paper so you could see a little line running under tissue paper. other things I've done, I've hammered thin pieces of metal over stones that I've found, just to sort of see how something draped over a stone shapes it. Once I've got a big sort of library of visual stuff, I then have it in the workshop. It sits around me. I again play with the metal, and I develop the ideas through working with the actual metal itself. I do draw a lot as well, but I don't do accurate drawings really. They're more sort of scribbles that I understand and probably no one else will be able to make sense of. That's quite a soft round shape now, so that's now ready to solder. I actually use borax, so I just mix them up. And then put a little piece of solder on and then heat it. A lot of my work, including this pendant I'm doing, they're made in two halves which need to be soldered together, and the best way to do that is to sand them flat, so you've got a good easy flat edge to join. So I put a bit of a little pad of masking tape on it. I'm now just going to hold it on my sander. I get up in the morning and actually can't wait to go to work, which I don't think many people can really say that. I think part of it, the charm of the life I have, is that I have no real routine. When I get to the workshop, my day is entirely my own. I can decide what I'm making, who is going to see it, and what type of work it is. I also work from quite small scale to fairly, well, not large scale, but medium-sized scale. So I make pieces that are perhaps 50, 60 centimetres across. And I also make very small, fine pieces of jewellery. So again, it gives me a huge variation in my day. The workshop I'm in is fantastic. It's a lovely light space, and I'd say the only downside is absolutely freezing in winter. But I work with people who I both like and respect. It's really good. I'm just going to finish it off on a piece of wet and dry paper. Now I think all the sides are level now, so I just need to make sure that fits the other half and I can solder those together. When I think about the future, I never want to be out of a workshop. I would really like to be one of these makers that makes until they drop down. I hope that my skills constantly improve, and I think I've never made a piece that I've been completely happy with. There's things you think, well, that's probably as good as I can do at this moment in time, but I think I'm always striving to do the work better and to achieve more, and I certainly hope I haven't plateaued. I hope this is just a stage along a long career. I would never go back to the bank, ever. I think I want to do this forever if I possibly can, and hopefully I will.